Oh, look at those hot dogs.
TripTiks. It's called TripTik.
Was that?
Uh-oh. Somebody's in trouble. What's our sign off?
Trip mode out.
I'll stay persistent. You need that distance, yeah. But with love like this, we cannot miss each other. Yeah, yeah. Please don't play no games with me. Just hit me up on my line, yeah.
All right, welcome to the Trip Mode Podcast.
Welcome. So my topic today is RVing. What are the pros and cons of full-time RVing versus part-time RVing? So that's my topic.
Okay, so you're doing some research for when we actually start doing full-time RVing?
Maybe, if that's what we decide.
I have two topics, kind of three, but two. One is we hit 200 subscriber mark on YouTube. So what does that mean? And then my other topic is talking to people. How we used to have to talk to people back in the day before we had technology, and what that means for when you're traveling and stuff like that.
Okay.
You want to go first?
Sure.
It's hot out
So, yeah, I was thinking a little bit about RVing and like, what if we did decide to do full-time RVing at some point? Remember, like during COVID, like as soon as COVID hit, it seemed like everybody went and bought a bunch of RVs, and a lot of people were deciding, I'm going to RV full-time. It's like some people actually sold their homes and went to go live in an RV full-time, I think without researching everything that entailed. So I was just looking that up, and as far as full-time RVing, I mean, the great thing about that is that if you're out full-time, you have plenty of time to go to different locations, so you're always kind of changing your scenery. The living expenses as well. I think that's why a lot of people sold their homes, because they thought it would be a lot cheaper to just be in an RV, and it is to some degree. So that's a lot cheaper. Weather-wise, you know, you're always, if you want, you can always RV in warm locations, so you don't really have to deal with bad weather too much. Some of the cons for that is you're constantly having to try to figure out where you're going to be. You got to constantly plan for where your next campsite is going to be, unless, I don't know, if you can buy like a space at a campsite permanently.
That would defeat the purpose of full-time RVing, though. Staying in one place?
Yeah.
You could just stay,
or if you can stay in a place for like a long, like maybe a month.
They probably have extended stay locations where you can stay longer.
But
seasonal stays, like you can go to Florida and get a seasonal, stay there for 3 months in the winter. They have seasonals.
Yeah, so that, and then as far as bad weather now, I mean, homes are a little more steadier as far as tornadoes and hurricanes and all that kind of stuff. With RVing, you know, you have to be a little weary of that, or pay attention to that, because your stuff might get blown over one day. You never know. So that's the what I found as far as issues with full-time RVing. Now with part-time RVing, it's a little more flexible, which when I think about it, I think I would probably like to stay part-time. I don't know if I would ever really want to do permanent.
But part-time
RVing.
for longer periods of time, maybe?
Yeah.
Because right
like
now our longest trip would be a week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that would be well, cool. So yeah, with part-time RVing, you know, you still have your home, so you can just go out, RV for however long you want, and come back home. And then, one of the cons too with full-time RVing is the maintenance. Since you're constantly living in your RV, there's going to be more maintenance, more upkeep with that. Whereas if you're just doing it part-time, you're not going to have as many issues because you're not using it as much.
RVs aren't as durable as houses either. An RV will have a lot more maintenance issues if you're doing it full time than a house would if you were living there full time.
Yeah. So yeah, and then it's good for remote work. Like if you're, Yeah, if you're part-time RVing and you want to go somewhere and you can work remotely, that's great. And you don't have to worry about, like, sometimes the networks and stuff on campsites are not as
That will
reliable.
be the negative,
So
yes.
yeah, if you're full-time RVing, you might have to go get one of those workplaces,
Yeah.
rent some space there if you need to get your work
I've done that before, right? I like go to Asheville, stay there for a week, and then but work, but still on duty. You could just rent out a co-working space and go work from there during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they're expensive though. Well,
well,
it depends
then,
on what you get. If you want an office where you can talk without a lot of noise, it gets more expensive. But then you can just rent a cubicle. The cubicles are really cheap. But then if you're meeting with people over the phone, then there's a lot of background noise that can mess you up.
Is
if
it
you have a,
the cubicle area? Is it open?
It's open, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's just sitting there right in the middle of the floor with everybody else.
Okay. Yeah.
And then not cubicles with the tall walls. At least the ones I've rented, cubicles with the tall walls. They're just little workstations with a desk. Some of them have little tiny partitions on them, but most of them
you
don't
can
even have.
see everybody.
You can see
though.
everybody.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. And then of course the cons are, I mean, you do still have your house, plus you have the RV,
For
so
the
that's
part-time, yeah.
two
yeah.
things you're paying for. Yeah. Now this says rig depreciation. So I mean, the value of your RV is going to go down over time. So maybe if you want to trade it in or something.
If you put more miles on it, but I don't know how anybody would know how many miles you put on an RV. If it's a trailer, travel trailer wouldn't have a mileage count.
Yeah.
Now a driving RV would have a mileage count, and if you're driving around, if you're part-time and you're driving around, but RVs depreciate just like cars.
Yeah.
They don't retain their value as well as like your house would.
Yeah, I don't think that's a
house
real
can
problem.
appreciate. A house can appreciate. An RV is going to depreciate. So that's the con no matter what.
Yeah. And then also, if you don't have a big enough house where you can store your RV on your property, you got to go store it somewhere else.
Or if you got an HOA that won't let you store it on your
Right.
property.
So that's another expense. And, depending on the quality of where you store it at, you could be looking at, like if some places you just got to sit right outside. So,
Also the value of the RV relative to its usage, because if you're part-time, that means you're probably going out maybe once a month. So let's say you are lucky enough to get out once a month. That's 12 trips. Is it worth it having an RV when it's not being used for the other 50 weeks or 40 weeks? Because it's 52 weeks in the year. The other 40 weeks, is it worth it? I mean, you have to make that decision. I think it is, because I enjoy our trips, but you have to decide if you want to invest in an RV. Now, there's RV rentals. You can rent
Yeah.
people's RVs. And I think you can even put your own RV up to be rented by other people.
Oh, yeah,
There's
that's
websites that
true.
let you do that too.
yes, another pro, yes. So, that's what I got. That was my topic.
So will we want a full-time RV?
I don't,
You'd
right
rather-
now, I don't think so.
But even when you retire, would you want a full-time? Now, so when you retire, you're going to be older.
Right.
Let's say you're retired at 65. Now you're 65 years old, and do you really want a full-time RV at age 65?
I mean, and it depends too. Like if you got a travel trailer or a fifth wheel versus the Class C and stuff. If we had a Class C or a Class whatever it is,
Class A?
yeah, I mean that might be better for an older couple versus a travel trailer.
Why? Because you can just hop in and go. It's not
Right.
a lot of hookup
Yeah.
and unhooking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't expect to be decrepit at 65. I still expect
You
to have
never
a little
know,
bit of-
son. You
No,
never
I'm
know.
just saying, you assume you're going to be at least relatively active, because we are now. And if,
I'm just thinking about me, what I would want.
Yeah.
I want RVing to be, I mean, I love the fifth wheel, it's simpler than what we had before, but I want RV to be as simple as possible, when I'm older.
yeah,
Although
Well,
you do all the hooking up and
that's
all
what I
that
was about to
stuff
say.
anyway,
I do
so
all
I
the
don't
stuff
really do all
anyway,
that.
so.
Exactly, so you don't want it to be just as difficult at
Oh no, I think
65.
unhooking and hooking up a fifth wheel is actually pretty easy for me.
Okay,
I don't really have a problem with that.
I know, look at those hot dogs.
But but your expense goes up. If you have a Class A and you don't have a if you have the time you drive a Class A, if you want to leave the campground, now you have to have a second vehicle. So you still, the expense doesn't go down really. Although a second vehicle that's used for, that's used just to drive around in, that's being pulled, is going to be less expensive than that big truck it takes to pull a fifth wheel.
Yes.
So yeah, there's pros and cons to either one. It depends on where you're at in your life. I
Right.
can see me full-time RVing when I retire, but I always want to have a home base.
Exactly.
Even if I got an apartment and I had to come back somewhere let's say we decide this year we don't want to go camping. Let's say you do get sick and you can't do. You want to have a home base where you can go back to, and that's where you stay at. So there's pros and cons to each. There's some full-time RVers that we watch on YouTube. I don't know what their life is like off camera, but the fact that they move around to different locations, I think that's pretty cool.
Well,
That's
I know
the
at
biggest
least
advantage.
one of them. Remember, Gone with the Winleys.
Yeah,
They stopped and went and got a house.
but I don't know why though. We don't
Yeah.
know why they did that.
So
Could've-
yeah, we were watching a lot of
There's
those
a lot of
people.
different reasons why people could stop. Like we said, health reasons. You get older, you lose interest. But yeah, or it's not as fun as it used to be. That's a
Right.
possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, also too, it was saying something about your community. You know, if you're camping and you're constantly traveling, then whatever community that you have at your home base, you kind of lose that.
Oh, you have to rebuild. Now,
Yeah.
what I could envision is if I was full-time RVing and I was moving around, I would have like a circuit. I would have, these are the locations that I constantly go to when I go. So I would hit up, let's say for us, Asheville, stay there for a couple months.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Myrtle Beach, stay there for a couple months. Go to Charleston, stay there for a couple months. And then you have a community, because you know people.
Yes.
You get to know the locals, you get your favorite hangouts, restaurants, bars.
Yeah.
You get to go to those different locations and you'll know people. So I picked like 4 or 5 locations and just kind of move around from there. So
That makes sense.
if you have 4 locations and you're full-time, you can spend 3 months in each location. Or you could pick 3 locations and then have a wild card. So you have 1 location, 2, 3, and then that 4th location for the last 3 months could be some random location that you pick every year.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
But okay, so we'll move on to my topic. I don't like these seats. Weird.
I'm comfortable.
So we hit the 200 subscriber mark on YouTube. Yay! I was going to bring one of those
Thank
little
you.
party horns and a party hat. But the question is, what does that mean? So if you have 200 subscribers, let's say half of them are actively watching our channel. Let's say all of them are watching our channel at one point or another throughout the month. That's like a big movie theater full of people. That's not an
It is.
insignificant number.
It is. Yes.
You look at all these other people who have 100,000 subscribers, or 10,000 subscribers, a million subscribers. One is you have to question whether or not those are actually real.
Right. Yes.
Did they buy those?
lot of people
Is
buy
it,
it,
is
yes.
it bots? Is it just right? And then what percentage of those people are engaged? But when you have 200 subscribers, it's a small community. You kind of know it's people that really want to see that content, and you can cater to that specific audience. The larger it gets, the more you feel compelled to kind of be everything to everybody.
Yes.
And I personally want to stay niche. If I reached 100,000 followers and that was all we ever got, that would be perfect. I don't need 1 million followers.
Right.
For what we want to do and what our content is. I don't have dramatic lifestyle where that many people are going to want to pay attention.
Yes.
So I think for 200 subscribers is a good number to start with. That means we hit a milestone that a lot of channels don't. And maybe it can springboard into other things, but right now our content is travel content, and now we added the podcast, and that's all I
Yes.
really have time for right now anyway.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I don't have time to do anything other than that. So,
Yes.
all right, 200, high five,
All right.
high five. And my other topic is about talking to people and how that helps you when you travel. Because back in the day when we used to travel, you remember this, back in the day when you drove to a different city, you didn't know where you were at, you had to use a physical map to go where you were. But then,
Shout out to Rand McNally.
and we didn't always use a map.
Yeah.
What's the major highway to get to that city? And once you got to that city, you would just stop at a gas station and ask
Oh.
around. How do I get to like such and such Air Force base? We're in the Air Force. and that people would know, just go here, and they would tell you directions.
Yes.
One thing that's always funny about directions, and what I learned back in the day, and I don't know if you remember this, but you would never ask directions from one person. You always ask 2 or 3 people for directions. You always ask 2 or 3 people, and the reason is because one or two of those 3 is going to be wrong.
Okay.
So you want to make sure you got it right. You learn that real quick when somebody gives you wrong directions. You learn to ask multiple people.
But if you're asking multiple people for directions to the same place and they give you different directions,
Not
you
all
haven't-
3. It's unlikely that all 3 of them are going to. Two of the 3 are going to probably give you right directions.
Okay, so whoever gives you the most
You just
directions, that's probably right.
whichever one's the common, you use that.
Okay.
Because I've given people directions before, and then when they walked away, I was like, oh, that's wrong. I've done that several times where somebody says, hey, how do you get to such? Oh, you just go down here and take a left and go that way. And I'm like, they should have took a right. And I'm like, I hope they ask somebody else,
They're
because if
cussing
they
you
just
out,
took
too.
my word for it, they're going in the wrong direction. I've done that a few times. So yeah, so back in the day, you had to get directions, and then you had to make sure you asked multiple people and get consensus, and then take the direction. When you would get to a location, this is before technology, you didn't have any cell phones or anything, you could go up to somebody and just ask them, where's the nearest restaurant that sells whatever. That's how we used to do it back in the day. You just ask the locals what's a good place to do X, Y, and Z, and then they would tell you. And that's how it was, all word of mouth.
Yeah.
You could, I mean, in the phone books,
Yeah.
they had the white pages. The phone books had all just
the
people in it.
businesses, yeah.
But then they had the yellow pages, and you would just thumb through the yellow pages, and you could look up restaurants and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and then find them. And then that's how we found places. But if you wanted a place that had a good recommendation, you didn't go on YouTube and look at how many likes or stars they got,
No,
what their
you had to
rating was.
ask.
You just asked around.
Yep.
And we do that now. We still, even though we have our phones, whatever, even that, when we go places, we'll be sitting at the bar talking to like the bartender, and we'll ask them, we'll start talking to them about places in their local area and location.
Well, a lot of times they'll just volunteer stuff. Ooh, you guys are from out of town? Ooh, you should go over here. You
Try
should go
this.
over there. Yeah.
Try that. Yeah. So yeah, getting to know people. But one thing that's awkward about talking to people when you're in a new location and you don't know the people is I always size people up. Like, do I want to talk to this person? Like, I don't just talk to anybody and just start striking up a conversation with anybody. I'm not really good at small talk, but when I do, I look at who I'm talking to and decide whether or not I really want to engage with that person, especially if it's at a bar or something, I don't know the person.
Yeah.
And especially if it's somebody sitting at the bar, I'm real cautious about striking up small talk with people I don't know. But that's how we used to have to do things back in the day. You didn't have the option of looking on your phone, or
Yeah.
you had to talk to people.
Yeah, you look kind of silly back in the day if you're just sitting there and you don't have a phone, but you're not talking to anybody, and there's no TV to look at. So what are you doing? Just like staring at your food? It's kind of weird.
Yeah, so that's my 2 topics is how do we get around back in the day? Oh, well, on that same topic, like we take for granted that our phones have these maps on it that we can just punch in the address. Back in the day, we had to get a map and then figure out how to get to where we're going.
Yeah.
But those maps didn't always have, like these maps today, they have all the locations on there. When you pull it up, it shows you all the restaurants in the area. The maps back in the day didn't have that. It just had the street.
Yes.
So you still had to know the
You had to know that-
address.
Yeah.
And which address you wanted to go to and how to get to it. So you still had to ask around, like, okay, I'm here, I'm in this city. Now, how do I get to this particular location? You have to figure that out.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that means people back in the day were smarter than they are. We had to use our brain a lot
I
more.
mean, yeah, as far as knowing how to get somewhere.
And we had to talk
Yeah.
to people more often than now. And we weren't camping back in that era. I wonder what camping was like back then. Because
Yeah, that's a real adventure right there. 'Cause
I dread going to a location and my GPS going out on the way to a campsite that's like in the middle of nowhere, like one of those
Yeah.
state parks or whatever.
Yeah,
and
'cause
then
you're
not
totally
knowing where I'm
lost.
going, unless and I would just go back to my old instincts, pull into a gas station and just ask.
do they still
to
make
go.
maps?
They still make maps.
Oh, okay.
I'm
So-
pretty sure they still make maps.
Do y'all know if they still make maps? Let us know.
I'm pretty sure they do. But AAA was still around, they used to sell those
The
TripTiks. Remember the
TripTiks.
TripTiks? Mm-hmm. You basically tell them where you're going. You call up, tell them where you're at and where you're going, and then they would create a little booklet for you that was like a flip book, and it had directions from here to here. You had to flip the book. So while you're driving, you had to flip the book to see where you're going next. And so it was like a long book with the directions. Like when you go on Google, you can get the turn-by-turn directions on Google.
Yes.
Today, you could get the turn-by-turn directions. That's exactly what that book was. It was go here, get off this exit, go here, get off this exit. It had a whole little chart, and you had to flip the book. And what were they called? TripTiks. Yeah, called TripTiks.
Was that
Uh-oh, somebody's in trouble.
was that before MapQuest?
That was way before MapQuest.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in there. That was because when I was using TripTiks, we didn't have the internet.
Oh, okay.
So MapQuest, you had to have the internet.
How you guys doing?
Pretty good, man. How you doing?
Good. We're here for dive.
For what is that?
I coach diving.
Oh,
Oh.
diving. Oh, nice.
Nice.
Very cool.
Senior. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're
doing
doing
a
a podcast
podcast,
right
but
now.
that's
You're
okay.
actually live on our podcast.
Yes.
I see you drinking a cream soda. I sell that cream soda.
Is it good?
Oh, thank you. Yes, it's made with honey.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, good to see you.
Great to see you guys.
Awesome. Thanks.
Have a good night.
All
You
right.
too.
So yeah, that was my topic, talking to people.
Yeah, see, we were just talking to somebody.
I'm like, when we go out places and we strike up conversations with people, small talk, would you ever have done that if I wasn't with you?
Heck no. I don't talk to people. I barely talk to him.
Oh yeah.
I am not a talker, never have been. So no, it would be if I needed to, then I would, but I'm not going out just striking up conversations with people. No.
I don't feel like I'm at a bar, unless the bartender is like interacting with us and talking, and I always want to know about the local area, because that's the best way to know. Because obviously, when you go to a place that's like Myrtle Beach or Miami, there's a touristy areas, right? But then when you talk to people, you learn about the area. Remember when we in Miami,
Yes.
we went to that public beach instead of going to Miami Beach? I think somebody at the hotel told us about that place.
No, I think it was actually my coworker.
Oh, your coworker.
Sandra.
Okay.
Told us about Cramden Park Beach.
Okay, over
Yeah.
on by Biscayne Avenue or
Yeah.
whatever. The little.
Yeah, and it was a nice little beach.
It's
you know?
beautiful. It's the
Yeah,
same atmosphere.
And nobody was
as,
over there.
It's the same atmosphere as Miami Beach with all the people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
got the palm trees. You got the water. It's beautiful, and there's
Yes.
almost nobody else. There was people there, but it wasn't like Miami Beach.
Right.
Yeah. So that was cool.
Yes.
So, yeah, talking to people and getting information and sharing and just kind of learning about the local area the technology is great. It helps you, but I think you get more high quality recommendations when you actually talk to people to learn what's going on. So that's my topic.
Okay.
All right, how many minutes are we in? I don't even know. 20 minutes.
That's all.
All right, I wonder if
like
all that
longer than
background noise got in there from it's a Wednesday,
Yes.
and there's like a ton of people here. He said it's for the diving
Yes.
class, so I might get one of them hot dogs.
Okay.
All right, well that's a wrap.
All right. Well, yeah, that's it. So,
What's our sign off?
trip mode out. Trip mode deactivated?
Yes, deactivated. Trip mode deactivate.
Okay.
Peace out.